Afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I'm a hang out with you for a little bit, and then of course I got a lot of stuff to do. Got a lot of stuff to do. This is a big week. Next week is a big week. Um, so I might not make it here every day, and some of the days that I make it, I might not make it on time. So I just ask for y'all patience and understanding. Patience and understanding. But come on in here, say hello to me if you don't mind. Of course, as usual, I'm doing stuff as I'm talking, so my attention is a little divided. Come in, say hello to me if you don't mind. Say hi. Tell me where you're checking me out from. I'll shout you out, and then we'll get into something. Come on in, say hi. Come on. Um, but hold on, I'm trying to do something else even as I do that. See if I can figure this out. Come on, come on, come on. No. Where is. No, 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 no. There's a. Hold on, y'all. I'm looking for something. Looking for something. All right, let's get this started. I didn't find it, but I'll look for it as the show goes on. Robert Willis. Good afternoon, Robert. Thanks for checking in. We got Maria. Maria in the house. North College Hill checking us out. Thank you for checking us out, Maria. Uh, Robert says, you good. Keep on doing it. Hey, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Terry. Good afternoon, Terry. Checking us out from downtown. Um, my OSHA says she's checking in from the bunker in A1, busy as ever with work. She might be working, but she ain't that busy. Trust me. Just take my word for it. Well, I don't know. Every once in a while, when you make the big money, sometimes the people giving you the big money want you to earn the big money. They want you to earn the big money. So she might be earning that big money this week. Either way, good afternoon, my OSHA. We got Anthony. Anthony in the house representing the wood. I thought I represented. We got, good afternoon, Anthony. We got Carolyn in the house from East Walnut Hills. Good afternoon, Carolyn. Good afternoon. Deshaun Bell checking in from Price Hill. How you doing this afternoon? I'm doing good. How about you? How about you? Good afternoon. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining. Tessie. Tessie in the house from Fairfield. Good afternoon, Tessie, and thanks for joining and supporting the show. I appreciate you. Dina. Dina, representing Walnut Hills. Walnut Hills in the house. All right. Thank you for checking us out. Good afternoon, Dina, and thanks for supporting the show. Dwayne. Dwayne checking in from Mount Airy. Thanks, Wayne, for checking us out. Thanks for supporting the show. You know I got something to say to you in a few minutes. We got Daryl. Daryl in the house. Say, what up, E-Man? Checking in from the park full of trees. All right. Daryl representing the park. Forest Park, I'm going to assume. We got Phyllis. Phyllis. Beautiful gift on this Monday, checking in from Camp Washington. All right. Phyllis representing Camp Washington. We got Chelsea. Chelsea in the house. She's representing the gym. Everything you say is a representative of that gym that you're at. So be careful with your words, Chelsea. Good afternoon, Chelsea. We got Andrea. Andrea. She says, good afternoon, everyone, from the home office in Gulf Manor. All right. Andrew representing Gulf Manor. Thank you for checking in. Thank you for supporting the broadcast. We got Regina. Regina from Logan Airport. You represent a whole airport today. A whole airport. So be careful with what you're thinking about. Be careful. Let's see. We got Deshaun Bell. So I'm doing well. What's the experiment today, my guy? Hold on, give me a minute. Let me get through the hellos. And then, because I got to talk a little bit about 9/11. It's 9/11. You got to talk a little bit about 9/11 on 9/11. Because it always, if you, but we'll get to it. We'll get to it. And then I got a couple other things that I want to discuss as well. Um, P. Copenhagen. Is that what that's saying? Hold on, let me take that off screen so I can see. P. Copenhaver 43. All right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Somebody checking us out from Twitch. Is this my normal Twitcher? What do they call people on Twitch? I don't know why Twitcher came out. I'm sure that's not what people call them, people from Twitch. But thank you for checking us out. I appreciate you. And good afternoon. We got Karen from Westwood. All right. I appreciate it. Lunkin Airport. Okay. So you're representing Lunkin Airport, not Logan Airport. All right. And yes, I thought I figured it out, Forest Park. Yeah, I thought I figured it out. Preston says, I'm late, but I'm here. Power outage in Avondale. Oh, I'm in Avondale. My power's still on. I think you making excuses. No, I'm just being silly. My power is on. I am in Avondale, but on this street one night, the power was out on the other side of the street and our power was still on. Somehow it can work that way. Brian's good afternoon. At his jewelry lab in Springdale. So Brian is representing Springdale. Shahara representing Bond Hill. Good afternoon, Shahara. Thank you, Brian and Shahara, for supporting the show, or at least for checking me out, even if just for a few minutes. I really do appreciate that. Sierra checking us out from Boston. Representing Boston, of course. Good afternoon, Sierra. Sabrina checking us out. Good afternoon, Sabrina. Fame, good afternoon, Fame. So I'm just here to party and kick it like Escape. Okay, I'm gonna just leave it at that. All right. Good. Darren Edwards. You're also representing Madisonville. Can't beat that. Sierra, you didn't know the Twitch person commented. Oh, hold on, let me turn it down. Oh, all right. That's my mother-in-law. Can't beat that. With some, I don't know if that's good news or not, but it's my mother-in-law. Deborah, good afternoon. She says, hello, everyone. April in the house. She says, good afternoon from work near Avondale. We're just going to call it Avondale. Good afternoon, April. Monica in the house. Good afternoon, Monica. Checking us out from Hyde Park. Of course, we got Mary in White Oak checking us out. Why does that make me laugh every time? Because it's so stupid. It makes me laugh every time. And the level of, it never gets even a little less funny. Jim. I you just start calling somebody Jim. I'm sorry. It's funny to me every time. Daryl says, E-Man in a mansion next to rich-ass O'Shea in North Avondale. The power is on a special electrical grid. Okay. I'm not sure exactly. I mean, I know what you meant. I think the OSHA you meant something else over there. But I get what you're saying. No. The power is not out in Avondale. Just in your part of Avondale. The poor ass part of Avondale. No, I'm just playing. Oh, put the chat up. Okay. Thank you, Mary. I forget. Got Phyllis. I think I said Phyllis. We got Scott in the house. And we got Lonzo in the house checking in from work. You represent that whole company today on the afternoon experiment. All right. Oh, Rich Osha is short for Myosha. She is rich, not me. Goofy. It's funny. It's funny. I don't know why. Every time it's equally funny to me. All right. 9/11, or as I like to call it, 911. 9/11, today is what, the 22nd anniversary or whatever. Today is the day that we, kind of remember the horrible tragedy that happened on September 11th, 2001. Of course, like everybody else, uh, you know, I remember it vividly. I remember being frustrated because people was like literally screaming. They were literally screaming where I was at. And I'm like, that's not helping anything. You watching on TV, screaming don't help. But they were screaming. Like, oh my goodness. I was so frustrated. I think I got some issues. I try to think things through too much, even on the fly. When the buildings was coming down. See, actually where I was at, I was really the only one who saw the first building come down, on TV. Because the TV was right there next to me. And the first building came down. And I saw it and I told everybody that building just collapsed. And they was like, no, it didn't. I'm like, what the? How you don't tell me it didn't? But when they looked on TV, it was just that big dust cloud that was there. So, oh, the building's still there. I'm like, it's not there anymore. It collapsed. No, it didn't. Okay. And then everybody was watching the TV. And when the second one collapsed, that's when people start screaming. Like literally screaming. Ah! And I'm like, why are you screaming? Stop. That's not helping anything. If you gotta scream, go in the other room and scream. But it was terrible. I remember it was terrible. I remember it was unbelievable. And I remember I kind of stayed glued to the TV like all night. And I think I overdid it watching the video of the plane kind of barreling into the building. I think because I didn't see any of that live when it happened. I was on my way to work when all of that happened. So I was, in transit. And yeah. And then of course, we were broadcasting live on the air, and eventually we cut to, I believe, the ABC feed at that time. And so, we just kind of, a lot of people just gathered around the television. But I also remember, which some people don't remember, that was the primary here in Cincinnati. Charlie Lucan and Curtis Fuller running. I don't remember if there were other people running, but I remember a lot of black people here in Cincinnati and in Hamilton County basically saying, hey, this might be tragic. Some people were saying, oh, this is a conspiracy to keep us from voting for Curtis Fuller for mayor. And I was thinking, you really think that they ran 2 airplanes into buildings in New York to keep Curtis Fuller from winning the mayoral primary? That's a far stretch. That's a far stretch. I think this might not be that kind of conspiracy. But this primary is still important, so get out and vote. But I know a lot of people don't remember that, yeah, that was the day of a mayoral primary here in Cincinnati. Anybody else? Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. I see Fame calling in. Oh, I hope I don't miss this call. Now hold on. I made some changes here. Let me see if I can catch you, Fame. Here and here. Fame.
Hey, how you doing, Emanuel?
Hey, I'm doing good, Fame. How are you?
I'm outstanding. Hi, everybody. It's Fame Rothstein. The show was 72 over the weekend. You'd have made a lot of money. Listen, but, you won't be hated. But anyway, I remember 9/11 vividly. I remember exactly where I was. Come to find out, it was up in your area, your own personal area, from what we had learned. Maybe not at that time, but just working, hearing your own work.
Oh.
I had just walked out of the United Dairy Farmers on Millis and Pleasant Road, right there at the corner of Fairfield. As you start in, the Fairfield area.
Mm-hmm.
And it was 10:12. I got in my car. I was driving the best car I ever made, 88 Honda Accord.
Oh, what happened? I'm sorry, I might have cut you off accidentally, and you were kind of going in and out. Fame, call back. You were in a Honda Accord. Call back. I apologize for that. Call back. I didn't mean to cut him off. See, there's something going on here. All right. Fame.
Yeah, sorry about that. My beard's coming back, so it kind of hits the button there now.
Oh, hold on a second, Fame. Hold on a second. If you don't mind, hold on. All right. Sorry about that, Fame, and everyone. My daughter, and she's having some car issues, so when she called, I gotta take that. Gotta
Oh,
handle
absolutely.
that. Go ahead, Fame.
Yeah, I got in the car at 10:12 a.m. Turn it on, thinking I'm gonna listen to Lincoln Ware. I drive back home, and there's a national news feed. I'm like, what the hell is this? And it won't go back to Buzz, regular program. Lincoln. I'm like, okay. I get in the house, and every channel is 9/11. Seeing the plane strike the building, the second one, and just everything about it. You know what I'm saying? The chaos and everything. And I just remember thinking, yeah, like, wow, this is kind of scary. Cincinnati, I wasn't necessarily that, I had to, eventually I had to look it up at a job I was working. And Cincinnati was considered one of the most bombable targets in the United States and whatnot. At work and personally, it was very scary. And I remember I was a youth football coach. We had practice that night. I remember telling the kid, we canceled on site instead of on the phone, and just telling those kids, like, trust me, they were 9 years old, said, you'll never forget this day, because I was your age when the Challenger disaster happened, and I always remember where I was at that day. You understand what I'm saying? And but for me, on 9/11, only for about 2-3 years that I really reminisce on it, because I've always thought of 9/11, September 11th, as the day that Rose broke the hit record.
I'm sorry, the day that what?
Peter Rose broke the hit record in baseball. Yeah, I know you don't like athletes, especially white athletes. But yeah, that's what I always think about first. You understand me? On 9/11 after a while, because it was an active war, and it just is what it is. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay. And secondly, I want to get your opinion on the situation, but not necessarily, but yeah, just the whole Halle Berry, how she's making this black man take a pre with two white men sister, she didn't have a prenup on them.
Okay.
That was kind of
Hold on, because you're breaking up a little bit, and I think it might actually be on my end. But I thought you said what Halle Berry wants a prenup with the black dude that she about to. I guess they plan on getting married.
Yeah. I just thought that was very bizarre when the two non-black men that she dated, the white dude and the Latino dude, they both jammed her up for I think $200,000 a month in child support combined, something like that. It's like pretty brutal. The amount of child support she paid. Yeah, I wanted your opinion on that because I feel male paying to a female or female paying to a male, again, child support should not be a transfer of wealth.
All right, I'll give you my thoughts on it, but again,
I'll sit and listen.
Yeah, you say you're what? Hello? Oh, okay. I guess he hung up. Sorry, he was breaking up, and I'm not sure if that's on his part or if that's on my part. But I don't have a problem with the way the system works. The way the system works, she's like the primary breadwinner. She makes the most money. Those kids have to live a certain lifestyle. Now look, I've never liked that as a thing, right? If I'm a multi-millionaire and you broke, I feel like when the kid is with me, they live a multi-millionaire lifestyle, and when the kid is with you, they live a broke-ass lifestyle. So they get to see the difference. They get to see the difference. I shouldn't have to bring your lifestyle up to my lifestyle so that the kid can experience the same. I've never thought that that's the way it works or that's the way that it should work. If two, regular kind of middle class people have a child, they're not married, they split up, and I got a shack. You know what I'm saying? I live in an apartment, and you live in a really nice house. I don't get a nice house because you live in a nice house. When the kid come over, that kid get used to apartment living. Shh, stop jumping. Be quiet. You got people who live under us. You got people who live next to us. You can't be making all that noise. Stop. We ain't got no yard. No, you can't go out in the yard because we ain't got one. You know what I'm saying? All of that kind of stuff. There's a difference. I don't get a house with a pool, with a nice yard, and no neighbors because you do. So I've always felt that way, but that's not the way the system works. For rich people, the system works different for rich people. Rich people, you're exceptionally wealthy. The kid can't be with you and live this lavish lifestyle and then come to my house and be eating pork and beans and wieners for dinner. We gotta level that out. It's been good all these years when it was rich men paying it. I guess it's good it's gonna be good now that rich women is boning not so rich dudes. It just is what it is. I don't like it as a principle, but be fair all around. Be fair all around. If we're gonna end it, let's end it. If we're going to keep it going for women and for men. For women and for men. And I think Mrs. Livingston would be all right if I went and had a baby with Lupita and got that child support. We got to bring our lifestyle up, baby. We got to bring our lifestyle up. Lupita, I need $100,000 a month. Well, I probably need closer to 200 because I want our kid to live a really good lifestyle. So yeah, I'm with it for that purpose. Other than that, but we were talking about 9/11. We were talking about 9/11. Oh, hold on. Before he also brought up kind of the racial component to it. Look, that only makes sense to me. That only makes sense to me. I wouldn't care if it was white or black. When you got burned twice, Like, first time, shame on him, maybe. Second time, shame on you. And all subsequent times, shame on you. At some point, Hallie had to learn that lesson. Maybe she had to learn the lesson. Like, all right, I thought going over and dating white dudes would be different. Because, allegedly she had some bad relationships, marriages with black dudes. So she thought, nah, how a lot of people do. F them ends. I would just go date a white dude and everything will be better. And then she did that and she realized, ooh, things ain't no better. And they call me the N word. So it might not be that much better. So now she back with a black dude, but she like, hey, look, I've been burned by white dudes. I've been burned by black dudes. I done had all kind of negativity. I'm not messing with none of that. Prenup. And dude probably like, all right, prenup. Yeah. Yeah. Raven Monday. We got a celebrity in the house. Raven Monday. The Raven Monday. Are you still the favorite millennial? I haven't heard you say that in a long time. I haven't heard you say your favorite millennial in a long time. But Raven Monday said, however, she said some other stuff. She said, however, I do think the funds should only go to expenses directly related to the child. It should be issued on something similar to an EBT card where you're limited in what you can use it for. Oh, stop it. Stop it. How many times have we heard men say that same thing? See, it feel to me like you flipping now because it's a woman on the hook. It feel like you flipping because it's a woman on the hook. How many men said, hey, how I know she ain't using my money to get her hair and her nails done? How I know she ain't using my money for this? How I know she ain't using my money for that? No. Whatever that parent sees fit to spend that money on is where that money should go. And if we gonna, because women is paying child support now, well, then put it on a card so that only no. Give them that money and let them do what they want to do with it. Or do it all the way around. And for all child support, put it on a card and they can only use it for certain things. But that's not, that's not really reasonable. It's not really reasonable. So either you do it both ways. Oh, all right. So I just figured something out. P. Copenhaver, 43. I believe that's Blade. You always tell on yourself, Blade. That right. Not that's right. That right. I think you tell on yourself a little bit too much. So I think that's Blade. But I still appreciate you for checking in on Twitch. I still appreciate it. All right. Now back to 9/11. But yeah, I remember being there. I remember the towers falling. I remember everybody crying and some people screaming. Like I remember I could say who was doing what. Lincoln didn't cry. And he didn't scream technically, but he did his Lincoln thing. Oh, the towers is falling. Oh, the towers is falling. And I'm like, oh my God, stop. But it was a traumatic day for, America. It was a traumatic day for America. And, when you kind of step out of it and you just look at the lives that were lost. Because a lot of lives were lost of, otherwise innocent people. And when I say otherwise innocent people, hold on, I got something playing over here. Stop. And when you got otherwise innocent people having issues, then, hold on, something is going on here. Hold on, let me refresh. Sorry, I might go away All right. Y'all tell me if I'm back. I think I'm back. It looks like I'm back. Somebody tell me if y'all can see me, if y'all can hear me, if everything is okay. I had things just going crazy over here, and that little spinning thing looked like everything was trying to get going. So if somebody can, just type a message, let me know if I'm back. Let me take that off until. All right, Robert says you're back. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, when you just think about it in terms of the lives lost, just in terms of the lives lost, that was a horribly tragic day. And as usual, or as I always, well, not always, but as I sometimes try to do, to 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 be, truly sympathetic and empathetic and all of that kind of stuff. Put yourself in the place of somebody on one of those planes, or somebody who, just like you did that morning, if you did, you went to work. Or even for those of you who are like, I don't remember this stuff. I'm not old enough. I was a little kid. I don't, whatever. There were little kids in there. There were little kids in there because they had a daycare. And so you put yourself, you went to work or you went to school just like any other day. And next thing you know, your life is either turned upside down or over for whatever reason. And, for those people, you gotta be like, your heart goes out. Or at least, I guess, just speak for me. My heart goes out to those people and to the families of those people. I knew a guy. I guess I should say I met him. I didn't know him, but I met a guy who, his mom worked in one of the towers. And his mom went to work that day. But I guess he for whatever reason, I don't even want to make something up. Well, I'll tell you what I think I remember him saying, but that might not be it. His mom had to leave and go do something. And when she left, the towers got hit. So had she not had to leave and go do something, go get something, she forgot something somewhere, something like that. Just one of those, you know, I left my ID badge at home, and so I had to hop on the subway and go home or whatever it was. I don't remember exactly what it was, but she ended up leaving and then coming back. And, between the time that she left and the time she was ready to come back, planes had hit the buildings. So she would have been in there. And of course, I've seen. I don't know that I've ever met someone who says I had a loved one who perished in 9/11. But man, it's just, so it's one of those days where, and I saw where Black Lion says, he changed his birthday to 9/11 after seeing all those Caucasian people, whatever. And look, everybody got a right to their point of view. Everybody's got a right to their point of view. But I think if it were you, or your mom, your child, in those buildings or on one of those planes, it might not be a day to celebrate. Preston wants to know, are we talking about who was responsible or just the fact that innocent lives were lost? Well, at that moment, I was just talking about the fact that innocent lives were lost. Who's responsible? I'll be honest with you. I don't know who was responsible. I don't believe the official story. That I'll tell you. I do not now, and I probably never will believe the official story. I don't know who it was, so I can't say, oh, it's an inside job. I don't know. But even if I believe the official story, and it's one of the things I heard Wyatt saying earlier, and I was kind of thinking the same thing. Like, why would somebody want to do that to you? Why would somebody want to do that to the United States of America? And if you're one of these people who run around thinking the United States of America is innocent and holy and great and wonderful and outreach and they're so, come on, y'all know the people here in the United States, and you don't have to know the details, but we all know, for whatever reason, I'm not saying good, bad, whatever, for whatever reason, we all know that the United States government is not just some bastion of good. We all know that. So I'm not here to say that the United States deserved it. I wouldn't say that. I definitely wouldn't say that those people deserved it. But I don't know. I don't know who did it. But no matter which story I believe, it was an inside job or it was Osama bin Laden and Al Qaeda, as George W. Bush used to say. Al Qaeda. It was probably, to some degree, brought on, if not directly by the United States government, in retaliation for something that the United States government had done or was doing. But at this point, and of course, because I don't know, and again, I don't know. I don't have any, definitive proof. I guess all I can really do that feels like it's all I can really do is say my heart goes out and I hope to never see anything like that again. I hope to never see anything like that again. Don't mean it ain't gonna ever happen, but I hope it don't. I hope it don't. All right. That's really all I got on 9/11. I don't know for my younger people who watch, like Raven, Chelsea, for my younger people who watch, because you don't really remember it in that way. You was in school, you didn't see it. Maybe your parents didn't let you watch the videos over and over again, all of that kind of stuff. It didn't leave a mark on y'all. How do y'all look at when we're talking about 9/11? How do y'all look at 9/11? How do y'all look at 9/11? How do y'all process it, if at all? Because every 9/11, people going to talk about it. Every 9/11, people going to talk about it. So how do you process it? Based on, basically not remembering it. Is it kind of like I processed Pearl Harbor? Now, of course, that happened long before I was born. But is it kind of, like I processed JFK's assassination, which was before I was born, or Dr. King's assassination, which was before I was born? Those things, they mean something to me. I understand the significance. I understand the impact that they had on the country and all that kind of stuff. But for me, it's like, hearing a story about history. Hearing a story about history is kind of not, I don't want to say not real, but it's kind of not real to me in the same way that it's real to people who were alive at that time. And every time they start talking about Kennedy being assassinated, I'm like, again, like we reliving this again? Really? But for them, it probably has the same impact of, us watching this happen live on television. Preston says, can you believe those planes were military drones? I don't know about that. I don't know. Hold on, I got a call coming in. Caller. I don't know.
It's Raven.
Hey, Raven.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Are you still our favorite millennial?
I am not.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
no longer your. I mean, I am in your heart, but as far as a stage name go, that is not the position no more.
Okay, okay. Well, you,
but
you calling to tell us how how you process 9/11? How old were you when this happened?
so I was like 8 or 9. I was in the fourth grade. Hello.
Yes, and how do you process it?
Um, it's strange because as a kid, you don't really know nothing about the news and what's going on. All you really like, all of the things you feel about the world around you are reflected in the adults who understand everything. So you kind of just inherit those same emotions from the adults around you. And at that time, I think I got to school late that day or something like that. I just remember coming to class today and not being there very long because it was like drop dead silent. We wasn't doing no class work. Um, I think my teacher was like talking back tears or something like that, and she had pulled the TV. Back in the day, at least back when I was in fourth grade, we were still doing the ATV cart. So she had pulled the TV into the classroom with the ATV cart and had the news on. And we didn't really do anything. Maybe like an hour or two later, they called us.
Wait. Hold
Or
on, hold
called
on,
her
hold
phone.
on. Right.
Huh?
She showed y'all at 8 and 9 years old. She showed y'all this on TV.
Well, she had the news on. I don't know if it was like live coverage. I just remember
Yeah, it was live
there being a
coverage. It
TV.
it was
Oh,
definitely if
yeah.
she had every channel went to live coverage. So she pulled
Okay.
out a TV and had y'all watching this on TV.
I think so.
I think
I
that's
think so. I think we were sitting in the classroom and she had the TV on the ATV cart and she had it on. It was on the news.
oh, that feels
'Cause I think she was
irresponsible.
trying not to miss nothing.
Yeah, that feels irresponsible though.
Mm. But yeah, that's what I remember. She was like choking back tears. And then maybe like an hour or two later, they called her phone from the office and told her that they would be dismissing us early today. And I think my uncle came and got me and picked me up. And I still didn't know what had happened until we got back to school, maybe like a day or two later. And they requested that everybody wear a shirt like with an American flag on it to school, just to kind of like commemorate. They kid explained it where you give a brief description of an event, but you don't go into detail.
Right.
And they said, well, because of this, we want you all to wear, T-shirts that represent America. And at that time, most everybody had an Old Navy shirt with the American flag on it because we just worn it for 4th of July. So that's what everybody did. But I didn't really like pick up anything. I just saw the adults around me very concerned. That's when I saw most of the adults I knew and loved more openly talk about politics and stuff like that. And that's what I remember. I remember the time in my childhood where I had, like, the first time I had ever seen adults be genuinely scared, be open about it in front of me.
Mm. Mm. Yeah.
And I remember the scramble where they were trying to figure out, like, is New York the last stand, or is this happen all over the big cities in the country? Like, is they gonna do something in Los Angeles? Is something gonna happen in Chicago? Like, I remember that very vividly.
Interesting. Yeah, I think that whole piece was handled wrong. Cause I mean, thinking about it, I would have never, like, I didn't, when I got home and the kids were at home, and of course they had, got sent home from school, all that good stuff. But when I got home, I didn't have the kids watching that on TV. I didn't have the kids watching that on TV. I tried to create a situation for the kids that was as normal as possible.
Mhm.
But I would not have had kids watching that. That feels irresponsible to me. And then the whole wear an American flag shirt.
Yeah,
I ain't never been down with forcing.
I'll say this much. My elementary school at the time, it was a very much so, I think previous generations that had been mostly white. It was a neighborhood school in a very white part of town. And it just so happened that over the last maybe 10 or so years, black kids have started migrating into that school. So, like, the culture itself was very much so in whiteness, and it kind of got some flavor once black kids started going there. It became kind of a 50-50 mix of white and black kids. But for the most part, all of our staff was white, older people. And so they are, you know how they are. They are very much patriotic, very much America first and all that other stuff. So it didn't even really, like, register to them that it might not be the best in the world to, like, one, show a bunch of kids this stuff on the news. Two, of course, they had us every morning before the instructional day started. They had us do the school pledge and the national anthem. That was like part of our school day, and that was all the way up until sixth grade. That school was like the kindergarten to sixth grade school. We did it every single day. I couldn't get the national anthem wrong if I wanted to, because we said it every single day. It was that kind of a school.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't have done it that way. They did it that way. It apparently did not scar you as much as I would think that it would, because, you know, you don't even really remember.
Because I was in fourth grade. I didn't even fully comprehend what I was looking at. It didn't register until I got a little bit older. And then I understood, like, oh, it wasn't just that one day. It was following days. And I think I posted that in chat. Like, the devastation didn't end that day on September 11th. For me, it kind of got deep when I realized it was firefighters who had, you know, their whole lives had gotten upended or had got killed the following days, and rescue of people and trying to put people out of the rubble and stuff like that, and getting real sick and not having enough support. So I'm saying, like, that's what later down the line helped me to understand, oh, this was truly a tragedy. Like, this wasn't just something that a bunch of grown-ups was making a big deal about. This is an actual American tragedy, when I really got a feel for, like, the total amount of devastation as, like, a teenager. Because, like you said, ever since then, they celebrate it every single year. So I really didn't catch it till, like, later.
All right. Well, how are you feeling?
I'm all right. I'm a lot better than I was. Still feeling kind of weak in my body, but I'm getting back.
All right.
I want to be back in the studio at least by next week, but we'll see if it happens.
Well, take your time. You know how it is. They don't rush back for them. They don't give a damn. Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
So make sure that you are 100% before you go back, and you know, hopefully, well, maybe not 100%, but well enough to go back, and, you know,
that is the plan.
Do it on your own time. All
yes,
right.
sir. I appreciate it talking to you, man. It's been a minute.
Yes,
I forgot what it's like to argue with you with my voice and not with my fingers.
well, we ain't arguing this time.
That is true.
All right, Raven Monday.
All right. See you later.
Thanks for calling. Thank you very much. And that is on my end. Everything is kind of breaking up. This program keeps telling me that it's experiencing some kind of difficulties. Let me see if I can log back in. Let's see. We go here. It open back up. See, it's still saying the same thing. It could not establish a connection. And if you guys are sending me messages on Facebook, I am not seeing them. It looks like I am only connected on YouTube. I'm streaming on Facebook, but looks like the chat is only connected to YouTube and maybe Twitch. YouTube and maybe Twitch. Somebody on Facebook send me a message, just so that I can see if I can get your messages. Preston says, brainwashed all those young men into believing that they were fighting for their freedom and defending the country against foreign aggression. All right, I see Twitch is okay. Thank you. Anybody on Facebook? I'm not seeing a single Facebook message. So it looks like and Blade. Thank you, Blade. Oh, well, Blade, you are hilarious. You entertain the heck out of me. Just so you know, you entertain the heck out of me. Um, but yeah, it looks like I'm good over there. Oh, let me see if I go to Facebook. Yeah, I see. I just went to Facebook. I see that you guys are sending me stuff, but I'm not actually getting it. I'm not actually getting it over here on Twitch. So here's what I'll do. I'll put Facebook over here. Hold on, let me see how can I do this. If I can put Facebook over. No, stop it. So if I can put Facebook here. D says I'm on Facebook. So I see some of y'all over there on Facebook. I'm trying to get it to where I can see your messages if you send them. So let me do this. I'm going to close that. And I am going to go over here because I want to be able to see all of the messages. Scroll. Go here. Stop. All right. So we go there. And we go there. And Blade says, not the Blade that you're thinking of who calls Mr. Ware show. Of course not. Thank you, Scott. I see that. You guys are there. You're sending messages, but I am not getting them. But that's okay. That's okay. We're going to keep it going. Y'all can see the messages that y'all sending and that people are sending, back and forth over there, which is fine, which is absolutely fine. But yeah, I would not have exposed 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds to that. And that is definitely indoctrination. Definitely indoctrination. Or indoctrination. Whichever. That's trying to brainwash them kids. I wouldn't have done that. I don't like that. But hey, it's a little different. You're talking bad about 9/11. It's not a coincidence. Okay, hadn't thought about that. Valerie says it was a setup to wage war on Muslim countries. It was a setup to wage war on Muslim countries. Okay. Diane says they would not show the 2 planes going into the Trade Center anymore. Yeah, you kind of got to go on, which is a couple months ago, I went on and just watched a few documentaries about it. I watched a few documentaries about it, and yeah, there was weird times. And don't forget, it wasn't over then. Y'all remember, like, they canceled events. You couldn't fly nowhere. It was almost like we were on a lockdown. Like COVID, we were almost on a lockdown. You couldn't fly anywhere, that's for sure. They grounded all the planes. And if you had an event scheduled, the event was canceled. And for what feel like months, everybody was scared to go everywhere because the terrorist was going to get you. Remember that? It was we were on a red day one day, and then we were on a blue day one day, and we were on a, whatever. It was all of these different terror threat levels. And they would do terror threat levels in like big cities and scare the hell out of everybody. Like, oh, we got a tip that terrorists is gonna attack in, Chicago. And everybody like, oh my goodness, terrorists gonna attack in Chicago. And then you get a tip like, oh, we got a tip that the terrorists is gonna attack in tiny town in the middle of Oklahoma, outside of everything. So they had everybody scared. Like you gonna be scared if you live in a big city or if you live in a tiny town of 55 people. There were like terror alerts all over the place, and everybody was afraid to do anything for I want to say well over a year, but that might be stretching it. But I know for months, everybody was afraid to do anything. Hold on, no, it's gonna be a big crowd. Oh, don't go nowhere where it's gonna be a big crowd. The terrorists is coming. The terrorists gonna get us. Terrorists gonna get us. I remember that. Daryl says no one could fly except the Bin Laden family, who was here in America at the time of the attack. The Bush administration helped them get out of America secretly. Yes, yes. Preston says using fear to control and fuel that war, or should I say invasion. And Jason says they won't show. Oh, I already read that. No, that was somebody else. They won't show a plane hitting a building, but will show a lynching or graphic Holocaust videos. Guess I hadn't really thought about it like that. But y'all know, I go on and I see whatever. I see whatever. I go and watch what I want to see. Sometimes I regret it. Y'all remember, for a while, they were exposing us to what they called like terrorist activities. I remember somehow, and I don't really remember how, and this was years after 9/11, somehow having access to a video of a beheading. Y'all know how terrorists do those videos where they all dressed in black and they got somebody in a yellow jumpsuit, hands bound behind their back, and they do a little statement, and then they pull out a knife and they behead the person. I was exposed to one of those videos. And I don't know if I want to watch no beheading. I don't know if I want to watch no beheading. But I had access to watch like the full, unedited, uncensored beheading. And I actually watched it. And I'll be honest, I wasn't good for about 2-3 weeks after watching that video. I'm not one of these, I'm so squirmy and I don't want to watch. I'm not one of those people. But I watched one of those beheading videos, and I promise you, I wasn't good for it. Had to be 2, 3, maybe even 4 weeks. I wasn't mentally, emotionally. I was in a bad space. I was traumatized. It took me close to a month just to get my head right, to get that image out of my head. And I'm thinking, how can people watch this stuff on a regular basis? How can people watch this stuff on a regular basis? And it took time. It wasn't like a quick, boom, head gone, head roll. No, he had a knife. I'm sure it was sharp, but it was a dull knife cutting through. And he had to reposition his body to, cut some more. And I was like, oh my God. And when he was done, he took the head. The body, of course, fell down. And he just sat the head on the body. I was like, oh my God. I can't believe this. And I always felt like, even though, I don't want to say I had to hunt it down and search it down, but I always felt like, although that stuff, it actually happened, like that wasn't no Hollywood camera tricks or nothing. That dude was dead. But I also felt like they keep telling us about this and exposing us to this. This is propaganda. This is, yeah, it's real, but you don't show us everything that happens. You're not showing us Americans blowing up buildings and schools and all of that kind of stuff. If you picking and choosing what reality to show as a nation, that's propaganda to me. That's propaganda. Now, again, I didn't have to dive into it, as deep as I did to actually watch it. But, yeah, that was definitely propaganda. Janice says, Brent says, every country's history is propaganda. Brent, which Facebook page are you on? Because I'm seeing your messages. I'm seeing your messages from Facebook, but not these other messages. Janice says, just imagine some of the young immigrant boys from certain countries. Stop it. Stop jumping. Stop jumping. From certain countries have actually been trained to kill people in that manner. We don't know what we have within our borders, and of course, including KKK. Brent says every country's history is propaganda. And Ron says that means the whole media is propaganda. Well, I'm not sure, but I would say the whole media is maybe. If you have an agenda to paint one side of a thing one way and another side, Sierra, I see you from the Afternoon Experiment page. So I'm seeing messages from the Afternoon Experiment Facebook page. I'm not seeing messages from my personal Facebook page. All right. So thank you. That clears that up. So if you wanted me to see your messages, go to the Afternoon Experiment page and I should be able to see your messages. But I don't know, Ron. Maybe there is something to that. A lot of stuff that we see is definitely probably because a lot of media nowadays, well, I think it's probably always been that way. It's always been that way. I mean, we say, oh, we don't have state-run media, but it might not be state-run, but it's definitely going to be favorable to this country if it kind of emanates from this country. Even back in the day when what's the Walter Cronkite and all of them dudes was doing the news. That was propaganda. Because they're never gonna show you they're not gonna have access to. But even if they're not gonna show you American atrocities for the most part. They're not gonna do that. So yeah. Daryl says it took Obama's administration to go after bin Laden. The Bush administration knew where bin Laden was the whole time. Putting us in a war with Iraq was just a smokescreen. Plus, the Bushes wanted Hussein dead because of a deal that went bad. All right. And Jack says, hello, everyone. All right. So I see some of you are migrating to the afternoon experiment page. And I can see your messages from there. I can see your messages from there. Sabrina says, I remember having the option to watch something like that. I chose not to. And somebody mentioned what was it? The Five Faces of Death? Was that the movie? The Five Faces of Death? I watched that movie. You watch somebody, actually get electrocuted in the electric chair. I watched that. That didn't have the same effect on me as watching that beheading. It didn't. But I remember all of that stuff. I remember, and everybody was so gung-ho for war. Everybody was, of course, not everybody, but a lot of people were very pro-war. Of course, at the time, I lived in Hamilton at the time. When 9/11 happened, I lived in Hamilton. I was coaching at Hamilton Little Blue. And when I tell you those, just the faces of death, not the five faces of death. I'm confusing the faces of death with the five deadly venoms. It's just the faces of death. But I remember I lived in Hamilton at the time, coaching at Hamilton Little Blue. And man, a lot of them dudes was like, they were so pro-war. And I remember when they announced that, we were going to war and that they were bombing Iraq. And those guys were like so, I don't want to, they were white boy stoked, if you know what I mean. Fucking A. Fucking yeah. They were like really white boy stoked. And I'm like, how can we be cheering for war? Because by that time, I was convinced not that America had done it, but that there was no clear evidence that we should be in Iraq. Fucking A, man. Fucking A. Like, number one, what does that mean? And number two, why are you so hyped about war? Why are you so hyped about war? Like, they was high-fiving and shit. Like, it was crazy. And they were mad at me because I was like, this is not a good thing. This is not a good thing. But there was so much that ran into that. But I don't know. I guess it's one of them things. You might be able to get one over on me. I get one over on you. You know what I'm saying? We battle in the background. But look, if we out and you do it, we like out in public. And you, Brent, to your point, what did Five Fingers say to the face? In public, like, we could do whatever to each other behind the scenes. But if you catch me out in public so everybody can see, now I got to respond aggressively. I feel like America had to respond aggressively in their minds. I think they intended on it anyway, but nah, I think, yeah. Raven says, I told you, white people are ridiculously patriotic and pro-war because they take those things as a direct attack on white America. Yeah. But, so that's 9/11. That's what I remember. I remember 9/11 the day. And yes, the most vivid memory of 9/11 is being in the studio, going to the network, carrying network coverage. I think we carried network coverage for days. For days, I feel like we carried network coverage. And but I also really remember people screaming in the control room. And at that time, the control room was tiny. And so it was like almost everybody, because I think I had the only TV in the building. The TV that sat next to my workstation, next to the board and everything, was the only TV in the building, or at least in that portion of the office. And so everyone had come down watching my TV all over my shoulder. And I'm doing this because the people were so packed in there that they were pushed up against me. And I'm trying to, you know, and then people, when that second building came down, people just start screaming. Like, oh, get out. Get out. But yeah. Yeah. I remember that. What else? I wanted to talk about, and I gotta find this video. Did y'all see the video? Hold on, before I go to that. Congratulations to Coco Gauff, who won the US Open. In a match, I didn't know if she was gonna pull it off. I hoped that she would pull it off, but I wasn't sure. And so I was switching between the game and the tennis match, college football. I was switching between, I don't remember which game it was. I think I was watching Alabama, Texas, and Cincinnati and Pitt. So I was switching between, I think, Alabama, Texas, Cincinnati, Pitt, and the US Open. And I'm like, yes, Coco Gauff won. I was so happy for Coco Gauff because I like her as a person. I like what her parents have poured into her. I like her humility. I like the story she told about how she handles pressure. She said, basically, you know, pressure get to me, whatever. She said, my grandmother told me, and, you know, look, these people out there ain't got nothing to eat. They don't know where their next meal coming from. And that's what you dealing with. And she said, some people are dealing with real life. I'm very blessed. And so basically that's how she deal with pressure. And I was like, yes, I like that. So I like what her parents are pouring into her. And I was very happy to see her win. So congratulations to Coco Gauff for winning the U.S. Open, being the first teenager, the first American teenager to win the U.S. Open since Serena Williams did it. Congratulations. I was a little, you know, excited. I mean, it is sports, so it's not the world. But it's still, you know, people, especially here in America, I mean, I'm sure other places in the world, but here in America, for some reason, for a lot of y'all, sports mean like everything. It means everything. And so for her to accomplish that, hopefully sent a message to a lot of other people, to a lot of, in particular, young black people and young black females specifically, that you can accomplish a whole lot if you put your mind into it. And, you know, you have to have a particular set of skills. And then you have to nurture those skills. I think it is very important to note, like with Venus and Serena, her dad is very much a part of that. Her dad helped coach her. Her dad saw those skills and nurtured them and became her first coach. And like she says now, he's not her coach, but he still sends her scouting reports and all of that kind of stuff. He's very much a part of that. Dads, it's very important that you are a part of your children's lives. And just do the best you can. Be there. Be there for them. Show them love and attention. Be interested in what they're interested in. Pay attention to what they're interested in and nourish that. It might not pan out In that way, they might be interested in that for a minute and then be interested in something else. Then nourish that. You never know what they're gonna latch on to. I always think, man, we would have a whole lot of great athletes in a lot of these non-traditional black sports if we had access to a lot of them. If we had access to a lot of them, that would be great. That would be great. Tennis, hockey, rugby, fencing. It's just, I don't know them all because, they're not traditional sports, but I would love to see more of those things, golf, more of those things nourished by or encouraged by parents, and just let kids get into less, baseball, football, basketball. Get into more than just that. Because, it's a lot of money to be made out there in those other sports, too. It's a lot of money to be made in those other sports, too. But yeah, I wanted to definitely say congratulations to Coco Gauff. Of course, I watched Colorado because that's the most exciting thing right now in college football to me. Watching Colorado. Again, I know you hated on Deion. I didn't hate on Deion. I said what I said, and I meant what I said. I still mean what I said. But again, that don't mean you can't root for the dude. That don't mean you can't root for the dude. Sierra says the rugby World Cup is happening right now. I watched the Fiji match yesterday. I have to admit, I've only watched rugby 2-3 times. I enjoyed it. It's just not, something to be top of mind. But it's an exciting game. If, once you kind of get a feel for understanding the rules. Raven says, I missed it. You still boycotting? I am still boycotting the NFL. I am still boycotting the NFL. What if Cap come out and say he no longer wants to play? Would you go back to watching? No. In all reality, he's not going to get back in. He's doing nothing but getting older. He's doing nothing but getting older. Now, if they did bring him back in, then I'd be back in. But my other thing, which will still, once they get a black majority owner, then I'll be back. I'll come back for a black majority owner. I will. But I won't just come back. I didn't watch a stitch. Does football come in stitches? I didn't watch a single NFL play. I watched college. Raven says, for any team, yes. A black majority owner in the NFL. And I'm back. That's it. So, if, Michael Jordan buys the Panthers, Carolina Panthers, I'm back. I'm in. If he becomes the majority owner. Not just one of the minority owners. The majority owner. Ron, did Magic Johnson just purchase a team with majority black owners? No, he didn't. We went through this before. You kept trying to tell me he was a majority owner, and I kept telling you he is not a majority owner. He is not a majority owner. There is not a black majority owner in the NFL. Not. And look, I'm not telling them they got to do it. I'm just saying I'm not watching it until they do it. Or Colin Kaepernick. Ron says, I didn't say nothing about Magic Johnson. Maybe it wasn't you. I thought it was you. I'm sorry. Well, let me apologize, Ron. I got into a debate with someone who reminded me of you, who kept saying that Magic Johnson was a majority owner. He was a majority owner. And it went on and on and on and on. and they never admitted how wrong they were. So I apologize if that was not you. Preston says, hopefully Shedeur Sanders, not sure if it's spelled right, keeps playing well. He's got to be in the discussion for the Heisman Trophy. Look, here is what I would love to see. Here's what I would love to see. Colorado go undefeated. Win the national title. Shedeur Sanders wins the Heisman. His brother wins whatever the award is for the defensive player of the year or whatever. And just, Deion wins the coach of the year. Like, them take home all of the hardware. What's the other dude? Hunter? I'd like to see him win something. I don't know, receiver of the year. What is that, the Biletnikoff Award or whatever? I like to see them win all of the hardware. Win the national title. And then do it again next year. And then do it again the year after that. I don't understand why that's so difficult to want. Brent says the NFL is doing Kaepernick like America has done black folk, and reparations, just trying to run out the clock. Oh, no doubt. No doubt. They're not gonna, he's not gonna, they're not gonna let him back in. I've resigned myself to that. Which is why I know the only other thing is a majority black owner. A majority black owner. But yeah, I watched Colorado win. I'm glad that Colorado won. I watched Cincinnati win. And I know, a lot of it we caught up in Colorado. I'm rooting for Colorado because it's Deion. I'm rooting for Colorado because it's Deion. I don't know why. He's always been a fascinating character. He's always been a fascinating character. So I'm rooting for them because it's Deion. But I'm still rooting for Cincinnati. And I still root against Auburn and against Alabama. So I was very happy. I was very happy that Alabama lost. For me, I was like, yes. Yes. I also root against LSU. Because that daggone Brian Kelly. I don't like that daggone Brian Kelly. I feel like what he did here in Cincinnati, and then he did, if not the same thing, something very similar in Notre Dame. You lead them kids high and dry like that. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. I give you my word, I'm not going anywhere. And then tomorrow you just disappeared, and somebody come in and tell you, oh, the coach is gone. He took another job. Like, you can't even come in and tell us that you taking another job. You just left and had somebody else come and tell us you took another job. You just promised us. You just promised us. Yeah, I don't root for Brian Kelly team. I didn't root for him at Notre Dame. I root against, because there are certain teams that I root against. I don't have to know who you playing. I want you to lose. Like I said, Alabama and Auburn, LSU. Those are, or any team that Brian Kelly is coaching. And now, I had to, because he's not at Notre Dame no more. So now I have to kind of transition my change. Like, okay, it's okay to want Notre Dame to win now because it's, the brother is the coach, and that it's okay. It's okay. What's your beef with Alabama? Didn't you go there? No, I didn't go to Alabama. I went to Alabama State, historically black college, not Alabama, historically racist college. Historically, they're racist college. I'm not necessarily saying they are now, but historically, yeah. But the reason that I'm against them, which is just, I'm against Auburn and Alabama. They're both in Alabama. They're rivals. Because I don't like fans that are too over the top about their team. I don't like fans that are too over the top about their team. And when I run into it, it makes me, question that team. And because I lived down there for a few years, it really made me hate both of those teams. And I got an Auburn hat. I only got that Auburn hat because Aunt Hattie gave me that hat. She know I hated both teams, but she gave me that hat. She said, I'm going to buy you this hat. And I want you to wear, she was an Auburn fan, and I want you to wear this hat. I was like, Aunt Hattie, like neither one of them teams. She was like, I don't care. I'm going to buy you this hat, and I want you to wear this hat. And she said, I don't care if you just wear it when you go outside and do yard work. So you know what I wear when I go outside and do yard work? I wear that Auburn hat because I promised her that I would. So that's the only reason I got the Auburn hat. But nah, at Alabama, I told this story before. It's a true story. I worked at Shoney's. And one night at Shoney's, or one day, I don't remember, one night or one day at Shoney's, it was a crowded, the restaurant was crowded. And somebody just yelled out, Roll Tide. That's what they say for Alabama. And then somebody who was an Auburn fan yelled out, War Eagle, because that's what they say. And I was thinking, all right, it wasn't football season, it wasn't basketball season. It's just these people are fanatical about these two teams year round. I could understand it if, they was coming up to the Iron Bowl, which is the game where they play each other. I could understand it if they were coming up on the Iron Bowl and that was, the deal. I could get with it. Nothing was happening. So then the dude yelled out, Roll Tide. And then somebody else yelled out, War Eagle. And this went on, a few times. Somebody else yelled out, Roll Tide. Somebody else yelled out, War Eagle. Then eventually, one dude said, Roll Tide, and if anybody says War Eagle, I'm gonna fucking kick their ass. I thought that was kind of funny. Like, that's funny. And then the dude said, War Eagle, and like a brawl broke out in Shoney's. A full-out brawl. And I'm sitting there like, what in the hell is wrong with these people? Y'all are fighting each other, like full strength, fighting each other. Not like, like you fighting him, like he sexually assaulted your mama and you just caught him on the street. Y'all full-fledged fighting each other like y'all trying to really harm one another. Because one person said Roll Tide and the other person said War Eagle. And at that moment, I said, I hate both of them damn teams. And I hope they both lose every game. And I hope when they play each other, it's a tie so that they can both lose. They don't really do ties no more, but that'd be my hope. So you don't even get a full win. You get a half a win and half a loss. I hate both of them. So I root against Alabama and I root against Auburn no matter who they play. All because of that one incident. But that one incident was kind of, indicative of how they act like statewide. I wasn't in Tuscaloosa. I wasn't in Auburn. You go anywhere in the state of Alabama, that's how they act. It's like, can't mess with this. Can't mess with this. So that's why I root against both of them. I'm not, I like sports. I'm not fanatical about it. Like, I want Colorado to win. But you don't hear me talking about, we won Saturday. That's not we. I don't play on the team. I'm not out there. That would be we. That would be we. I root for the University of Cincinnati. I'm from Cincinnati. But I'm not, we lost, we won, or we came back. It's not we. I don't make myself a part of that. I don't like people who do. Like, it's not that I don't like the people. I don't like that people do. I understand it. I don't like it. I remember when a Bama fan poisoned and killed 2 huge live oak trees on Auburn's campus. And he called into a radio station to brag about it. Janice says, if you want to see a bunch of drunk white folks, let's go to a boxing match. We used to go years ago. Don't go anymore. Walter says, when I lived in Cincinnati, I noticed a lot of people are bandwagoners. I don't know what that means. I mean, I know what it means, but I got a right to root for whoever I want to root for. Whenever I want to. Like, if I decided tomorrow, you know what? I changed my mind. I like Auburn. I could root for Auburn. You're on the bandwagon. So, it's sports. It's sports. You can jump on the bandwagon, jump off the bandwagon, jump on it again. You can just support the team when they doing good and not support them when they doing bad, because that makes sense to me. Who wants to root for the losers all the time? That makes sense to me. I don't understand people who get mad at people who don't throw their loyalty behind people that they don't know when they're not doing well. Preston says, I'm with you on Bama being historically racist, though. Can't never root for them. I can't. And they are historically, like, because I saw Raven says, you know, well, all of the PWIs are historically racist, so you got to hate them all equally. No. I mean, yes, but no. Like, they refuse to have black people on their team. They refuse to let black people go to their school. Like, when you got to send the National Guard, they're like, come on. Every PWI didn't have to do that. They didn't all have to do that. Right, Mary. Just like the UK, historically racist. I refuse to root for them. Me too. Me too. Even when, who was the black coach that they had there? I don't remember his name. But I remember looking at him like, I don't like you, dude. Like, it wasn't really his fault. I mean, he got a gig, you know what I'm saying, making money. I think he won a national title in basketball. But y'all still playing in Rupp Arena. He was racist. He didn't want them ends on his tail. I don't know why. Maybe it's wrong, Mary, that we think like that, but I think like that. I can't root for that team because of that story that I heard about the racist who was the coach who didn't want them ends on his team. I can't root for them, but all the players is black now, and the coach is black. I don't care. His name's still on the arena. You know what I'm saying? His name is Adolph Rupp. Adolph. I can't root for Adolph. I can't root for you playing in Adolph's building for Adolph. Can't do it. So yeah, stuff like that affects me. It affects who I root for and who I don't root for. Walter says, actually, Alabama was the first team from the South to recruit black players. The coach was Paul Bear Bryant. And when they got beat by USC in the bowl game, he said, I think we need to get some of those meaning black guys. That's racist, bro. I guarantee he didn't say, we need to get some of those darker skinned athletes. We need to get some of them ends on our team so, you know, we can do it. Come on. He's racist. Trust me, I lived in Alabama and a family that either roots for Auburn or Alabama. I'm aware of all of that stuff. That dude was racist. And they still celebrate his racist A. So yeah, no, I just can't root for him. But again, that's not necessarily the reason why I can't root for him. That feeds it a little bit. But that's not necessarily the reason why. It's because of that Shoney's incident. It's that Shoney's incident. Yeah, that's Bull Connor State. Yes. And who was the governor who eventually says he changed his life around? I can't think. Why can't I think of his name? Some of these racists, their names I don't really remember. Governor, why can't I think of his name? stood at the doors. I can't think of his name. But yeah, I think of all of that stuff. I think of all of that stuff. And I just can't get with it. Do you know which PWIs are historically racist? All of them. Now, Bull Connor was what was he, the chief or the sheriff in Montgomery? George Wallace. Thank you. Thank you. That's who I was thinking about. George Wallace. Yeah. Everybody telling me Wallace. Yes. That's all good. I couldn't think of his name either, so. But yeah, I can't root for them. But yeah, I enjoy. Now I can't tell y'all nothing about the NFL. Of course, I listened to the radio, so I know that the Bengals lost. I don't know what the score was. I don't care. And I heard that Dallas won, and I think Pittsburgh lost. That's the only, and I only heard all of that listening to the Lincoln Ware show. Other than that, I know nothing. I know nothing. And I didn't miss it. I didn't miss it. Let's see. My time is almost up. I do want to let y'all, I wanted to talk about, though, that there was a high school coach in Florida who suspended himself for going off on a student. And he didn't just go off on the student. And so I was looking for the video. I was looking for the video of this high school coach in Florida. I believe he was a high school coach in Florida who suspended himself, which is BS to me. I'm going to suspend myself for undetermined amount of time. Yeah. Like he was telling the dude, like he was trying to fight that dude. Oh, I wish I could find the video. I wish I could find the video. And I guarantee there's some people out there like, oh, that was just good coaching. Because people who coach football, a lot of times got issues. They got issues. Not always. But a lot of times they got issues. But yeah, he went off on his student, basically, trying to fight the dude. Told him, basically told him he was up in his face and he told him, do something. Do something. And get up. Get up. Say something. I'll beat your ass. I'll beat your ass. I'll F you up. Oh, you want to be gangsters? You want to be gangsters till it's time to do gangster shit. I wish you would get up. I knock your ass. He lit into him. And, one of the players was recording. So he come out later and he suspended himself for an indefinite amount of time. He's going to, get some counseling on how he can be a better coach and a better person. Because, he holds his players to a certain standard. So he has to hold himself to that same standard. Why can't I find this video? I had this video. Stop it. Sorry, y'all. I'm looking for this video still. Hold on, is this? Are they gonna show? See, but if I go to it there, then they're gonna bleep it. I don't want it bleeped. I want the full video. Cause he going off on old boy. Let's see if this will show me. Let's go here. Preston said he might be thinking about Strom Thurmond. Oh man, all this stuff ain't. I'm sorry, I can't uh pull the video. But yeah, he should be fired. He should be fired. The idea that you get to just do that and then say, I'm sorry, I suspend myself. I'm gonna look one more place, see if I can find this video. Hold on, let me see if this is it. Why y'all keep telling me the video there, and then when I go there, the video ain't there? I don't want to watch this little tiny video. Okay, it says watch the video here. I am there, and I don't see the video. Okay, wait a minute. Maybe this is it. Hold on, let me see if this is it. Anthony said he gonna use the strategy. You know how they do. They got ads. Okay, wait a minute. I think I found it. Let's make that full screen. Let me do. Hide that message. Put on the audio.
Do something! Get the fuck up and do something! I'll blow your motherfucking lights on fucking shambles! You got me fucked
Davion,
up!
shut the door, bro.
Pussy ass bitch! Real motherfucking talk. You wanna be a gangster? Let's do some gangster shit. Let's go, get up! Let's go! I wanna blow your shit out so motherfucking bad, you pussy bitch! You a pussy bitch! You a pussy bitch!
I never told no one.
You a pussy bitch, you my bitch!
I never told no one.
Go call your mom and tell her that! Come on, get up!
Coach, no.
Get the fuck up, I'll rock your ass to sleep. You got me fucked up.
Coach, I never told no one.
You didn't say that?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the coach. And it seemed to me, just, context clues and all, the coach believed, apparently, that the player told his mother something that the coach did or said. And so that was his response to the young man possibly telling his mom what this coach may or may not have said or done. And, watching that video, no part of me believes whatever it was that he told his mama that he didn't do. Oh, hold on, I got a call coming in. Key.
Hey, what's going on? You heard you.
Key, I'm doing all right. My phone is glitching, so you're breaking up, but it's not you. It's me.
Okay. You want me to call back? Are you going to be on tomorrow?
I believe I'll be on tomorrow.
Okay. All right. What are you doing?
I'm doing good, and you?
All right. Hey, everybody in the chat. I'll call back tomorrow, whenever the next time we man you on. Enjoy the rest of your day, man.
All right, Key, you do the same.
Okay.
Thank you for understanding. I appreciate her understanding. I don't know what's wrong with the phone line. I'll figure that out. But yes, Sierra, that was definitely verbal abuse. No ifs, ands, or buts. That was definitely verbal abuse. And technically, that could be considered assault in some jurisdictions. In some jurisdictions, he assaulted that young man. Assault is not necessarily I hit you. Assault in some jurisdictions, if I recall this correctly, is just I had a legit fear that you would hit me. Like I for real thought you was gonna hit me. At that point, it's assault. It becomes battery when I actually hit you. But if I put you in fear, that's assault. But yeah, and so what he did was he suspended himself. Where are you allowed to do that? What did his parents do after seeing this? Hopefully he had a father in the home. Probably didn't. He probably didn't. Because I would imagine that a father would have, I'm not saying you go up there and you fight the coach, but there was another video afterwards where he's sitting, where he announces his suspension. Hold on, let me see if I can find that one. The video where the coach actually announces his suspension, he's sitting next to the kid. No, that's not it. All right, I don't see that one. Wait a minute, this might be it. Hold on. Where he announces his suspension, sitting next to the kid. Oh, this is the same site that told me I was gonna see the other video. They never had it. But yeah, he's sitting next to the kid as he announces his suspension. And the kid is like, basically everything is all right. Hold on, let's see if this is it. All right, I can't pull it up. But yeah, he announces his own suspension. But yeah, based on what he was saying, he was all up in the.
The fuck up and do something. I'll blow your motherfucking lights on fucking shambles. You got me fucked up.
Shut the door, bro.
Pussy ass bitch. Real motherfucking talk. You want to be a gangster? Let's do some gangster shit. Let's go. Get up. Let's go. I want to blow your shit out so motherfucking bad, you pussy bitch. You a pussy bitch. You a pussy bitch. You a pussy bitch. You my bitch.
I never told no one that.
Go call your mom and tell her that. Come on, get up.
Coach, no.
Get the fuck up. I'll rock your ass to sleep. You got me fucked up.
Coach, I never told no one that.
You didn't say that?
I wasn't there. Actually, Malachi.
You didn't say that? Man, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of my life. Go. Pussy ass bitch. You got me fucked up.
Cause it's that old 552. I don't know how.
You want to be a gangster until it's time to do gangster shit. I like this shit. I'm cut like that. I'm cut like that. Yeah, I'm trying to.
Oh, I don't know where it might be.
You want to put words in my mouth? Then go out there and confront them. What?
See, I thought this one was going to show him sitting down. I don't know what that is. I thought it was going to show him sitting down and announcing his suspension. Because he sat down with that same kid and announced his suspension. And what's the kid going to do? What is the kid going to... I mean, realistically, even if the kid is like, I don't agree with this suspension, I think you should be fired. That kid can't say that sitting next to this guy. He can't even tell his mama that the coach said bad stuff to him. Or the coach threatened to beat his ass. Well, you can't go to your mama and say, yo, ma, man, this coach is crazy. And then somehow it get back to the coach. And next thing you know, excuse my language, you a pussy ass bitch. And get up so I can rock your ass to sleep or whatever it was he said. He definitely don't feel confident sitting next to this guy as he announces his own suspension, as if to say, yeah, that's okay. But I bet some people was looking at that like, that's some good coaching. That's some good coaching. He making a man out of him. Like, no, that's terrible. That's terrible. And then this guy's supposed to trust you. He's supposed to trust you. Trust that you have his best interests at heart. Ain't nowhere in the world. My kid wouldn't be on that team no more. My kid wouldn't be on that team no more. Brent says, I'm glad his teammates recorded the incident. Yeah, yeah. But that's, hey, that's what coaching is nowadays for some people. That's what coaching is. But more than anything, he gets to suspend himself. I was actually looking for the video where he announced that he was suspending himself sitting next to the same guy. But I will say this for the young man. He held his composure quite well. And I genuinely don't feel like he held it out of fear. Because come on, enough young men who would have loved for some white dude to jump up in their face. So I love that he held his composure. I hope that he, if he's confronted by a young African-American male, that he holds his composure the same way and understands that violence is not how to solve anything. Kendra says he was scared. I think he was scared to maybe lose his spot on the football team or something like that. I don't necessarily know that he was scared of that coach. His reaction didn't say fear in that way to me. If you understand what I'm saying. It's not like, coach, please don't hit me. Coach, please don't hit me. It wasn't one of those. It was like, coach, I didn't say that. Coach, that's not what I said. Coach, that's not what I said. Basically stop, coach. But it wasn't a fear in that way. So maybe a fear of, being kicked off the team. A fear in that way. Maybe a fear of not being able to feeling protected. Because again, if you went to your mom's and you told your moms that the coach was out of order about something, and this is the response, he more than likely one of his friends or one of the teammates recorded this and released it. He probably wouldn't have said anything, and he definitely wouldn't have went back and told his moms. He definitely wouldn't have went back and told his moms. If that coach would have cussed me out like that, I know what my dad would have done, and mom would have hit him with a 2-piece. Chelsea says, even though I'm pretty good at not letting the situation escalate to this point, I just, I felt like he held his composure. And so I'd give that young man credit. I get a young man, that young African-American male athlete, credit for holding his composure. Yeah, I agree. He would have, Preston says it's probably good he remained calm because he could have gotten himself in trouble or hurt. Yeah. I'd like to see more of our young men be able to hold their composure in stressful, potentially violent, threatening situations. I'd love to see that more. But all right, y'all. I wanted to present that stuff to y'all. This week is going to be touch and go. This is the week before Superfest week. I definitely won't be here next week at all. But this week, like, I've had a few meetings today and a few things that I had to handle, take care of. And the same will happen all week. Again, we have 5 days before we take everything transported to Jacksonville. So this is all of that last minute checks. We got this. We got this. Okay, we need to pick up that. Oh, we need to make sure we got this. So there's a lot of stuff going on. So if I can make it, I will be here when I can. I'll try my best to let y'all know in advance. If I see it looking like I won't be here, I'll try to post on the page that I won't be here. On my Facebook page. I'll try to post on my Facebook page that I won't be here so that you guys know in advance. But hopefully I'll be here. I wanted to say, for the people that I ran into, because I went to what's the place? The barbecue place up in Seven Hills. We do barbecue. And I ran into a few people. Dwayne's brother, who I'm sorry I don't remember. I want to say his name is Mike. I ran into Mike, and Mike called Dwayne, and I talked to Dwayne from Mount Airy, and just thank y'all for y'all support. And there was another young lady that I ran into whose name I did not get, but she was a wonderful woman, and she saw me, and she said, I watch your show, The Afternoon Experiment, every day. She said, I'm a fan and I love your show, and, keep doing it. And to that young lady, again, I did not get her name, but thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Y'all don't understand. I do this for y'all. And that's the only reason I do it. So when I run into y'all and y'all show me love, I appreciate it so much. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Again, I respect y'all. And to the best of my ability, I'll be here this week. But if I can't, to the best of my ability, I will let y'all know in advance if possible. I appreciate y'all's patience. I appreciate y'all's support. And I guess that's about it. I got to get out of here. Today is screen cleaning day. So I got to reclaim some of these screens. Can Dave Stinger fill in while I'm away? Well, I thought Jack was going to fill in, but, he acting like a punk ass. No, I'm just playing. I'm playing. I was channeling that coach. But no, Dave Stinger can't fill in. He can't. But we'll see what we can do. I'm going to try to be here. Again, I got to get out of here. I got to go reclaim some screens. I appreciate y'all's support. If you are out and about. Oh, hold on. And I forgot to say, happy birthday, belated. I said it to her on her birthday. But Saturday was Mrs. Livingston's birthday. And so, we went out to one of the places that we ended up going for lunch was We Do Barbecue, just because, she wanted to try it. And it's your birthday. You get to decide where we go. So, and we ran into another young lady whose birthday it was, which was, interesting. But happy belated birthday to Mrs. Livingston. This Saturday is our anniversary. Don't ask me how many, because my brain don't work like that. I don't know. I know it's our anniversary. I know it's more than 10. But I don't know exactly which one. She'll tell me. She understand my brain don't work like that. She understand it. So she don't get mad at me. Like how many years y'all been married? And I'm like, baby, how many years we've been married? That's what I have to look at her and say, how many years we've been married? And then she'll say it. And yeah. She don't get mad because she understand his brain don't work like that for whatever reason. And then the following Saturday is my birthday, which I'll be actually working Gospel Superfest. The show is on my birthday. So yeah, we set up a scenario where her birthday, our anniversary, my birthday, week after week after week. So it gets by the time my birthday come around, we both wore out. So my birthday, we really don't do nothing. And I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. I don't need to do nothing. But by the time my birthday rolled around, we done had her birthday and we done been out and did something. Like we went to that was where Friday, that was, she wanted to do something on Friday because her birthday was on Saturday. So she was like, let's go. And so we went and we ended up doing some stuff. We ended up going to the Reds game and then watching the fireworks and then, going and doing some other stuff. And then Saturday we did some stuff and, that was that. Then this weekend we'll end up doing some stuff. And then, by the time my birthday rolled around, well, we tired. We done did everything. It's all good. So I appreciate y'all's support. All right. So if you out and about, do me one favor. Y'all know what I always say. Be the reason that somebody smiles. Till next time. I'm out, y'all. Peace.